Welcome to the Advance Your Art podcast, where we talk about the journey from artist to entrepreneur and everything in between. You've worked hard to hone your craft. Now take it to the next level with tips, techniques, strategies, and routines used by successful artists to grow their businesses and careers. Now, let's get started and have some fun with your host, Airy Castle.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for welcoming me.
Excellent, of course. Thank you for joining me. It's always nice to have new, interesting people on the show.
No problem.
Great. So I'd like to start by asking, how do you describe yourself and what you do?
Okay. All right. So Monique is a very fun person. Mm-hmm. With a bright smile. She just has a welcoming spirit. That's one thing. She loves herself. She loves everyone. And she's just a happy soul. What I do, I write. I use writing as a medium to reach people, to help people to overcome circumstances that they're going through, for people to have realistic hopes about circumstances that they're going through. So pretty much, I'm just a writer with the hope that my work will touch others.
Wonderful. Okay, so writing then. What made you first interested in being a writer?
Okay, I was brought up in a single parenting home. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my mommy, two other brothers, and writing was something that I used to get away from everything else. Mm-hmm. I would come home and I'll write poetry and stuff like that. And as I grew and became an adult, I did short writings, like short stories on Facebook and so forth. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I end up liking what I do because it's like making characters that you don't have every day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, excellent. All right, so you started with poetry and short stories, and I know recently you have released your first novel, The Skeletons of Samantha's Closet. So what made you decide to go from short stories, poetry, to then writing a novel?
My Facebook followers and close friends.
Oh, yeah.
I can't leave them out of nothing because, all right, so I wrote a short story on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I wrote like 2 chapters and like my followers were like, more, can we get more? Can we get more? And I just keep on giving them. With Samantha Closet though, it was in WhatsApp. Still hearing me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was in WhatsApp and I wrote a poem because the first chapter of Samantha was really a poem. Mm-hmm. I just fixed it to be a chapter after. And I wrote the poem and I sent it to a group of people and some of them were like, I want more. And then a female was like, why don't you just make it a book? And yeah.
Excellent. So then you decided to write out the book. So going into this, because you turned a poem or in short story into a full-length novel, how did you approach that? Did you write out an outline ahead of time? Was it just kind of flowing naturally, or how was that? What was that process like?
It was just flowing. Like, I'll just get up here and tell you something, mm-hmm. and you'll be like, whoa, and then I'll be like, that's just my imagination. I do that a lot to my friends, and they're like, really? It sounds so true. Like, seriously? Yeah. So it just flowed naturally. Mm-hmm. So as I write about one character, it's like the next one came. Because the thing is, it started off with this lady. She's having an affair with a married judge. Mm-hmm. And she met his wife in a supermarket. So, the poem was about her guilt, how she felt standing behind the woman, right?
Right.
And not knowing how to reverse her trolley or how to go into a next line without this woman seeing her, because she was not sure if the woman knew her or not, but she knew the woman. So that's how the poem started.
Okay.
And then when friends and Facebook followers and so forth, when they ask for a book now, I made this person someone who the wife became the troublesome one, the troublemaker. So she turned around and she asked the female, "Are you Samantha Dixon?" The female answered yes. Surprisingly, like, why would she ask this? Like, wonder if she know about me. And then the lady like look at her from head to toe and be like, "Oh my, now I know that my husband has become tasteless."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and by the time she's supposed to answer the lady, she's like, "What? What did you just say?" The lady just smiled, took up her bags, and walked out of the supermarket, and she was there just embarrassed. And then the cashier was the one who brought her back to reality, like, "Hello, are you cashing?" Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it just flow, and I would think what would happen after that. And as she entered the car park, there the guy car was next to her. So a lot of people will be like, "What? So he's there also?" Like, say what? Yeah. She was saying, "Oh my, I am hoping and praying that they are not in the car and I could get to just drive away in peace. But if they are, then I'm going to answer in front of him." You understand?
Yeah.
But in everything, in her nervousness and everything, she just wanted to get into her car and drive away before they came. But luckily, the female wasn't there, but the husband was there. So the husband wasn't aware that the wife was at the same shopping complex. Maybe he went and did something else, and he was trying to be all lovey-dovey with her, and she's like, "Don't touch me before your wife come and sees us." And he's like, "What? You were all up on me 6 months ago. You knew that I had a wife. What are you talking about?" And stuff like that. Yeah.
Interesting. So it's a very specific and a very detailed story. Where did your idea for this come from? Like, does it just come naturally? Is it from things you've observed, or where did your ideas come from?
All right, so it's just natural. It came natural, but at the same time, I was trying to see stuff that is happening on an everyday basis. Not only she's sleeping with a married judge, but she's also a pastor's daughter. Because of this, that she think that she has this standard to uphold, because listen, you're a pastor's daughter, you can't let people know that you're sleeping with a married judge. Like, your father will kill you alive. They will skin you alive. And the thing is, she's trying to hide her life. And while she's trying to hide it, the wife now is the one pushing it out there. The wife is showing up. The wife is calling her phone. So it's a way where it's hard to keep it as a secret now, because his wife is about to kill her. Then a friend of her comes back from the United States. So the book is based in Jamaica. Okay. And a friend of her that used to go to primary school, which would be like you guys, junior high. So a friend that used to go to school with her went overseas to live and is back now in Jamaica. But the thing is, the wife of the husband is the friend's boss. So she can't even tell the friend. Yeah. So how the friend found out is the friend stopped by her house one night and the husband stopped by at the same time. And she's like, "What? Where do you know Judge Brown from?" She had to say, "Oh, he works at the same court that I work," because she's a lawyer. So they had to think fast what to say. Yeah. But it just comes naturally.
Okay. Excellent. So there's a lot of interesting themes that you are bringing out in this in your story. That's, there's the religious aspect of it, there's shame, there's sexuality. How do you, I guess, intertwine all of those in a story so well?
Okay. All right. So I was looking at it because, there's a lot of people who, well, first thing, there's a lot of Christians who might look down on people who is out there in the world. Mm-hmm. But while you're pointing a finger out, there's always a finger pointing back in. No, for real. Yeah. So no, like, she's on the borderline because she's a pastor's daughter. Mm-hmm. Now, a pastor might be saying this is happening to others, but mm-hmm. he at no point of he expect this to happen to his child, right?
Right.
So it is to show you the reality of how we be religiously, but at the same time have to be living a normal life. Because the thing is, pretty much, this is life. You're a perfect being. You can't be perfect. There are people who are looking at you to be perfect, but you can't. Now you're making mistakes and stuff like that, but where do you see yourself? Sure. So I try to make it as real as possible. I try to touch points that, Christian writers wouldn't touch. Mm-hmm. Because, a lot of people, because the thing is, I got some people who told me that the book is too raunchy. Or can you expect Christians to read it? Mm-hmm. And I be like, this is the thing. As Christians, we behave as if just to say the word sex, that you're going to go to hell. Mm-hmm. Like, God made sex. You understand? Yeah. So I try to touch every single aspect of life and put it together in a novel so that people can understand that no matter how imperfect you might think you are or how perfect you are, your life can change in just a split second.
Yeah, sure. So let's change a little bit and talk about your publishing and finishing process. So you wrote the book. How did you then get it to market? Did you just use a couple of services? Were you working with a traditional publisher, or how did that work?
I was trying to work with a traditional publisher. I was even trying to work with Amazon, but the publishing fees were very expensive.
Okay.
At the time, I didn't have those money, so I had to self-publish.
Okay.
Yeah, and self-publish, a lot of people think that when you self-publish, it's not really publishing. Mm-hmm. So that caused a little strain on what I'm doing, but at the same time, it still works. I remember while I was trying to get a publisher, a friend of mine told me about Amazon self-publishing, and that's how I went ahead and do it that way.
Okay, sure. Your book is available on Amazon and a few other places, so as far as everyone else is concerned, it's published, regardless of who was behind it. It's published, it's out there, it's a legitimate book. So congratulations on that part. The writing process to publishing it, did you edit it yourself? Did you work with an editor? I guess, how did you just make sure that, all of the I's were dotted, the T's were crossed, and the grammatical mistakes were
That's where I had a little issue because I work 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I didn't get enough time to proofread it, to go back through it. Because to be honest with you, I wrote that book on my phone.
Wow. Yeah? Just, because you mentioned before WhatsApp. Did you write it all through WhatsApp, or would you use what program did you use?
So I started off with the notes,
mm-hmm.
with Samsung Notes. I started off with that, and then I downloaded the Microsoft Office and used Microsoft Word.
Yeah.
But it's just my phone. So there are times when my thumb would be hurting, but I would write a chapter on the bus going home. I write a chapter at lunchtime at work. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, so that's answers my next question of just your process. I think that's fantastic that you made time to write this book in your spare time. There's a lot of stories of other authors out there who were, had full-time jobs and wrote on the bus or on the train to work. So I think it's fantastic that you were diligently working on there. So how long did this take you to write from when you started it? So actually, let's take that. Yeah, from the initial because I know you said you wrote a poem first and then you wrote a short story. From that until you actually published it, about how long did it take you to finish this project?
Okay, it took me like, all right, so the first part I wrote like 90